Yes, it is Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee. Mano is here.
New Mano.
And Jasmine from the JasmineBrand.com is here.
Good morning.
And we're doing your Yee Tea, and this is a serious issue. We're talking about Hollywood writers going on strike. This is official now.
Yep.
How does that affect us? Well, for everybody who watches late night TV and even weekly shows, those shows may be going black starting as early as today. This hasn't happened in 15 years, and we don't know how long it's going to go on, but this could also affect programming for television shows that have not been filmed yet. So we don't know how long this can happen, but nightly talk shows like The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel Live, The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon are all set to go dark starting today. Late Night with Seth Meyers and The Daily Show will also be hit, and weekly shows like SNL, Real Time with Bill Maher, and Last Week Tonight with John Oliver will be impacted as well. Final decisions on those shows are expected to come later in the week. Now, we had spoken to Chloe Hilliard. She is a writer. She's the author of the book F Your Diet, but she's also the co-head writer and co-executive producer for the Black Lady Sketch Show. And here's what she had to say about what is actually going on and why writers are going on strike.
Now, we don't really have that opportunity to make extra money after the initial airing of a show because all these companies have their own streamers, so they just give the show to their own free streamer. So that cuts out a check that can help somebody live comfortably for the rest of their lives.
Okay, I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's one thing. With streaming has definitely impacted the residual, which impacts our pay. Also, just like the basic rate increasing over the years with inflation and everything, we want like a boost with our basic rate. And then also AI. AI is something that we really have to address
talking
now.
about that.
Yeah. And so, the last time we negotiated a contract, or the WGA negotiated a contract was 15 years ago, and that strike lasted 7 months. That's when you got a bunch of reality TV stuff.
Yeah. Right. So that gave us a lot of information.
Yeah.
And we didn't know the strike was really going to happen, but we could see it was looming at the time. So what she said about streaming services is different than, when shows would replay and then they would get residuals from that. But now with the streaming services, you get paid one time.
And that's that.
And that's that because it's a streaming service. So you already know you can watch it at any point that you want to watch it.
Right.
Then they're talking about AI material, and they said the guilds, the Writers Guild of America, they proposed that AI material would not be considered as either literary or source material, but the other side of that, the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, said that they would only study the issue. So they're not agreeing to that, but they said they would study the issue, not agree to that. So there's a lot of things that are on the table that the Writers Guild wants that they're not getting, all right? They also wanted a guaranteed minimum number of weeks of employment per season, ranging from 10 weeks to 52 weeks, whether or not there's work that has to be done. The studios did reject that proposal. They did not even make a counter offer when it comes to that. And basically, they just want a livable wage.
Right. It's about money, which is understandable.
They want to advance the living conditions. Basically, what was going on 15 years was 15 years ago.
Right, exactly. They want a TV staffing minimum, which would range from 6 to 12 writers per show based on the number of episodes. That proposal was a non-starter for the studios. That's another thing they did not make a counteroffer on. Now, how can you help? What can you do? Here's what Chloe Hilliard had to say about that.
Like, voice your opinion. Talk about it. Like, talk about it on social media. I know you may not be in the union, but like be aware of what's happening. So when things go left, like let your provider, your streamer know, like we want quality TV. We want quality programming. We want to support the people who make these shows and also watch and support the shows. Like, it's not enough to just say, oh, I'm going to watch it. But like sometimes you have to watch it because those ratings are a matter of like somebody having a series on for 6 seasons or like 2 episodes. Like any.
All right.
Okay. I feel like we're doing our part because we're having a conversation about it and we're educating people about it.
Right. And talking about how we're all impacted by this.
We are, yeah. I wonder how long this is going to last.
Right, because the last one lasted 7 months.
And that could affect, like we said, shows that are coming down the pipeline, the people that have shows that are about to start airing or that are in production right now. Everything is shut down.
Yeah, it's a halted.
And we all have things in the pipeline. So it's like, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how AI is going to continue to impact all these different industries too.
And that's another thing that they're trying to make sure they get the jump start on. Because imagine you now have AI and then we don't need these writers like we used to. It's automated. It's artificial intelligence.
Yikes.
Well, they want to make sure they protect themselves in case something like that happens.
Okay.
All right. Make sure you follow Chloe Hilliard, though, because she really broke that down lovely.
Yeah, she makes it understandable.
She's a real journalist, okay? When I first met her, she was writing for Vibe magazine, and she's a stand-up comedian, books out, and like we said, said, co-executive writer and executive producer for a Black Lady Sketch Show. All right, when we come back, we have About Last Night. I know Maina was in these streets. It was the Met Gala. We're going
Yeah.
to talk about that a little bit. It's Way Up with Angela Yee. About Last Night next.